number one.
Miss any part of the show? Every moment of every show is available in podcast form by searching Hans and Scotty on your favorite podcasting platform or online at KSLSports.com. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans Olsen, Scott Gerard, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. This is interesting as we'll have some more writers, some more potential voters coming on throughout the week. Who is more likely to be in the AP Top 25 poll, BYU or Utah? And right now, we've talked to Ralph Russo, who's a voter. He was on the show earlier today. Some really fascinating comments from him. Brett McMurphy, Joel Klatt, have all given indications that they've got Utah in their top 25 and no BYU, which it's not surprising that BYU's not there, but it might be a bit surprising with Utah coming off a 5-7 season would be there.
McMurphy had them at 17, talking about the University of Utah.
Yeah.
Klatt had them at 25. Russo did not specify where.
Yeah, but he did say they were in and BYU was out.
But he does have them in his top 25, so it's just strange to me. That's a deep reputation, Scotty.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Russo said, well, I believe that defense travels more or it carries over more. It's not as often that defense falls off and is just terrible. And he said Morgan Scally gives them an indication of stability. Well, very quickly, Jay Hill's going to have that indication.
Yes, and BYU was fantastic defensively last year.
Yeah, let's not forget that was BYU's defense that ran to an 11-win season. That their defense, that Kansas State 2-minute defensive moment before the end of the half and to start the second half with a Tyler Batty interception and I want to say a Parasis maybe pick 6 or something crazy. You know, it was just wild. It just set BYU up for a 2-minute stretch that put Kansas State under the water, and they couldn't come back. Their defense was so dang good, dude. So eventually I think they'll be like, okay, well, Jay Hill's got the stability that Morgan's gotten. But right now I feel like that Utah's got some cachet, some built-up goodwill with some of these voters that might sneak them into the AP Top 25, which I don't think Utah really wants.
No, I don't think so either.
Now, it does help because if you're 23 on the AP and you whoop UCLA, you're going to 16.
Mm-hmm.
If you whoop them, you're going to go to 17, 16, 17. They're going to be like, oh, Utah's back. Devin Dampierre went for 380 total yards, 120 rushing, 260. That might be more than – actually, I think I had it.
You nailed it. Yeah. Good job. How about that?
Yeah, that was on the fly.
Nice.
But, you know, like if it's the right hit, then it's nice because you're already in the eyesight of people, especially on the AP side of things. I don't think they're going to make the AP. I think they'll be outside of the top 25.
I think when it's all said and done, I don't.
If you were to extend the coaches poll that was released today, they're number 30. My guess is you're going to be somewhere between 26 and 30 in the AP. Hey, and guess what? That's pretty amazing. Consider it was a 5-win season last year. It's 5-7?
Yeah, 5-7.
That's pretty amazing.
And only 2 wins in Big 12 play.
I am excited for this Utah football season just to see what they can do in recovery.
Bottom line is, I'm just excited for football. Let's get it. But the guy who anchors that BYU defense, Jay Hill, defensive coordinator, met with the media and has this update on practice.
What's been accomplished so far through the first 3 days on the defensive side?
Oh, a lot of good, a lot of mistakes that we are overcoming, which is always happening in camp the first couple days. I see our players that we're expecting to be really good playing really good right now, so that's a good thing. And I really like the competition right now in the corner group room. Gennaro's done a great job with those guys, having them ready to go. That competition looks good.
Who's competing in that cornerback spot right now? Who are the key guys?
I like Maury Bamba a lot, Trey Alexander, Evan Johnson, Jonathan Cabella. Those guys have played really good. Marcus McKenzie's done some great things. So the group looks deeper right now, and I like the progression. There's a lot of talent in that group.
Do you feel like your defense is ahead this year than it was a year ago?
In certain spots. We miss a Batty and a Blake Mangelson and Jacob Robinson and some of those guys. So if you're just looking at those three guys, we'd be behind where they're at. John Nelson, those guys have played a lot of football. So we will get those other guys caught up. But in other positions, you look at the linebacker group, and we're ahead of where we were last year on light years. The safety group ahead of where we were last year. So,
how is the defensive line looking? Because there's a bunch of turnover up front.
Well, Keanu looks great right now. JT looks really good right now. I like the defensive end. Logan Latui's played great. So, bottom line, that group is super deep. There's a lot of youth in that group, but a lot of real talented youth. So, I'm excited to see how the next 23 practices go, or 22 practices go till the game.
You mentioned Keanu and JT. What's the latest on Justin Kirkland? Is he going to be? I haven't just seen him compete.
Yeah, so he's fighting right now to get back. He's got a dinged knee, and we'll get him back as soon as we can.
Do you think you'll see him back in fall camp?
I got to leave that to the doctors. Okay. So, yeah.
Has Tassilia kind of put on the weight that'll allow him to be an every down defensive end at this point?
Yeah, I think so. He looks good right now. He's really grown since he's been here since January. And he's got the talent to be that guy for sure.
What about Tanner Wall and Rader on the back end at safety? They just kind of picked up where they left off?
Yeah, those guys are playing really good right now. There's an absolute dogfight going on at safety right now between those two that you mentioned. Falatau Satawala and Tommy Prassis look great. So, and then Talon Alfrey's had a great camp so far. So there's a dogfight going on at safety.
How do you juggle that at safety where you've got veterans that have been proven, but also young, promising talents like a Parasis and Satwell? How do you juggle it?
Super hard, because you want to be fair to the veteran guys, but the only thing that's fair is to play the best guy. And so you got to give them opportunities to show who the best guy is, and then may the best guy win come end of fall camp. And I think you'll see all those guys on the field this fall, but who plays the most is going to be predicated based on how the next couple weeks go.
What's been your impressions of Ciale? Because he was really taking off in spring, and how's he following up being a year removed from the list race?
So I like Ciale a lot right now. He's physical, he's big, he's fast. And then there's others right now, backer groups. Che has looked really good right now. So I think that group, bottom line, looks good. I think we're progressing in the right way. Coach Enna does such a good job with them. I really like where the backers are at.
How are you going to balance between 3 backers on the field versus 2 backers on the field with all the talent you have at backer?
Well, we're doing our best we can. There's going to be packages where there's 3 linebackers on the field, and then there's going to be packages where there's 2 linebackers on the field. And we're going to have to do a good job of making sure we put players in the best position to be successful for them and for us. And then we'll just balance what that looks like over the next couple weeks.
Coach, your defense is very effective with turnovers. Mm-hmm. How is watching tape and your players being familiar with watching tape? How does that contribute to?
Well, I think from year 1 to year 2, you saw that our players just looked like they were a little more aggressive, knew when to be aggressive, when to jump things, when not to jump things. I thought we did a better job with disguises of trying to get quarterbacks off their mark and just throwing off time or throwing to guys they shouldn't throw to. I really believe we're only going to get better at that as the defense is more comfortable to them and they're more used to it. They should just get better and better at that.
You've been running this scheme for years, but how much does it change from year to year with all the new personnel? Is there much change, or is
it can change drastically. We changed drastically from year 1 to year 2 on what we were, and I see us this year being different than we were last year. So I think that's good for teams that are trying to scout us, not knowing exactly what's going to come and how we're going to be. But we have to play to our personnel. We have to play to our strengths.
Does that become a bigger focus with the portal, with more just attrition every year?
Can be. Luckily we haven't lost very many guys that we didn't want to lose. So we haven't seen that maybe as hard as some teams have. But, yeah, you have to play to your personnel.
was going to ask you about Gennaro. When the day-to-day operation with him inheriting that new title of defensive passing game coordinator, what changes for you and him?
Well, not really anything, because he was really already doing that. He was so in charge of what we were doing as far as pass coverages and being on top of scouting and what we do in our individual roles. He's a huge asset for me and for our staff, and yeah, he's already been doing it basically.
Coach, how hard is it going to be to get down to your 2 deep with the talent you have?
Tough. Yeah, I'm already seeing issues that are going to arise. It's going to be hard to come up with a travel roster. It's going to be hard to come up with starters in certain positions, and it's going to be hard to come up with the 2 deep, but that's a good thing. Our job as coaches is to recruit the best guy we can get, create as much competition in our room as we can have, and then may the best guy win.
What do you look for in a recruit as far as his talents and what he's good at?
Well, so I look for ceiling. What is the ceiling that we can get that guy to? And then our job is to get him there. And they come in all shapes and sizes. At every position group, you got small, fast guys, and you got bigger, strong guys, and they come in all shapes and sizes. Bottom line, are they effective at what they're doing? And then it's our job to put them to where they can be efficient.
I saw a new name on the roster this fall, Kafusi
Pakofe.
from Weber. Did you have a connection to him? Is that?
Yeah, we recruited him one of my first years at Weber State. He had graduated up there, wasn't going to play football. We had a need at defensive tackle just to add some depth, and he was a guy I knew about, so we took him. And great kid, great person, super smart, and I'm excited to see how he progresses.
And aside from Keanu and JT, just how do you feel about the depth at D-tackle right now?
It's really good when we get Kirkland back. Right now, until we do, we might be a little thin, but we have so many things we can do. We can play a little more odd front. There's so much we can do if we don't have the depth that we're not that worried about. We'll figure it out.
Got to get Kirkland back, though. That'll be the interesting thing to see, the timeline on him and how soon they get him back on the field.
Oh, baby. Do you ever?
If that's a lengthy absence, that's a big blow. I mean, Jace was not dismissing it, but saying, as of right now, they feel okay, but the longer he's out, the more concerned, obviously, you're going to get about that situation.
Well, according to, did you hear Jake Hatch report on Luke Tuimatai? Was that Hatch that reported that he had a knee injury? Christian, did you hear that?
I did not hear that.
Because I guess Luke's not on the spring roster.
Oh, yeah. No, I think that was either Jake or I think it was Jake.
Mitch or Jake?
Yeah.
You've got that situation. You lost Josh Singh to the portal. I just worry about that D-tackle position, the depth. But obviously, I'm not ready to just say that Justin Kirkland's gone. I mean, but kind of cryptic there at the end, wasn't it?
Everything's been cryptic about him. Whether it's Kalani, whether it's Jay Hill.
Was that the last comment from Jay?
Yep, that was the very last comment.
Hey, Christian, can you isolate that last comment by Jay Hill? Just play it back. Talking about Justin Kirkland.
Yeah, and he was talking about the depth at that position and said, we'll know more when we get Justin back. Or I can't remember exactly how he said it. He kind of just said it in passing and just kind of glossed over it. But
it's really good when we get Kirkland back. Right now, until we do, we might be a little thin, but we have so many things we can do. We can play a little more odd front. There's so much we can do if we don't have the depth that we're not that worried about. We'll figure it out.
And I've got to see, that's the stupid thing. It's funny because my brain always thinks in traditional senses. And you really have to start to bury the traditional sense of the word defensive front, because you can play a defensive front now with Keanu Tanavasa and then 3 other D linemen that average 235.
Yeah.
You can do that now. There's defenses, and especially when you got a guy, when you've got a couple of different linebackers that can cover so much, like in Jack Kelly and Glasgow. So my mind thinks too traditional sometimes, and my mind got into the rhythm of Keanu Tanavasa and Justin Kirkland playing a 1 and a 3 technique. So 1 and 3, shifting to strengths. I don't know how bad this injury is with Justin Kirkland. When Jay Hill says, "Oh, we'll have to wait to see when he gets back,"
makes it sound like it could very well happen.
It could very well happen.
Yeah. I certainly hope that's
Just
the case.
leaves an open-ended as to when.
Yeah.
Let that dude get back and play football, please. Because his film is fun. He's just an anchor. He's tough. And I think he and Keanu would be a real fun duo.
That'd be a problem. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
The wheel is loaded, and it's time to talk some sports. This is Sports Roulette with Hans and Scotty on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Thanks for making us part of your day.
Late addition to the roulette wheel.
Yes. We've got ourselves another edition of Sports Roulette. We take some of the big storylines, put it on our roulette wheel, we spin it. Wherever that little ball lands is what we end up talking about. So, Christian, filling in for Lloyd Cole, fire up that wheel.
Well, unlike Lloyd's blood alcohol level, the NCAA is not increasing.
Hans, in 2000...
What a headline.
In 2026, there will not be an increase in the NCAA tournament. They will stand at 68 going into this year. Now, they also did say that they are still having many conversations and discussing whether to go to 72 or 76 in 2027. But as of this year, for the upcoming NCAA tournament, there will not be an increase in teams.
So what do you think here? Is this not them being able to pull it off in time? Are there roadblocks? Are there school presidents that aren't wanting it? They don't want more games. Does this essentially this would take out the play-in and probably add just another level of the tournament?
Yeah. I think the logistics of all of it, working with TV, how much extra is TV going to pay for it, all of that stuff, I just think they're like, by the way, folks, it's going to happen. So don't think that if you're a purist and you're thinking, oh, good, we're going to keep it as is. No, this is eventually going to happen. I just think that they don't feel like they have the time to pull it off the way that they would like to. So with all the logistics and everything else that goes along with it. So I do think eventually it will happen. In fact, I know it will happen. And I would bank on it for 2027. But you're right. They just don't have enough time to dot the I's and cross the T's. So no expansion, unlike Lloyd's blood alcohol level.
It's a good one.
Lloyd's on vacation this week. So just know there's a lot of debauchery going on this week.
He's on vacation almost every week.
Yeah, that's true. When's the last time Lloyd worked a 5-day work week?
It was pre-promotion.
Yeah. Go back to good old 2022.
Oh, he's going to get so mad. So you guys take time off.
When?
Name the last time.
Yeah. All right. Spin it.
I wish we all had Clayton Keller's levels of confidence.
Yeah, Clayton Keller's confident, man.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So here's his comment. He was talking with the media, and he said, yes, there's a ton of belief in this team. As far as the playoffs are concerned, it's that or it's a failure for us this year. Now it's just a matter of not talking about it, going out there and actually doing it. That's what we're all looking forward to the most. It's that or it's a failure for us this year, talking about the playoffs.
Wow. I like it. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go, and let's see some playoff play here it would be the 2026 playoffs, right? Yeah,
yes.
2026 playoffs. 2025 season, 2026 playoffs.
Look, I would love the Jazz and the Mammoth to make the playoffs next year. I know that's not going to happen with the Jazz, But the Mammoth, yes. I just want to see some playoff. I want to spend the month of April and hopefully a good chunk of the month of May talking about playoffs in some way, shape, or form here in the state of Utah. I don't think that's too much to ask for, is it? Come on.
No, it's not. And you've brought in a couple of pieces that you feel like can help you immediately. And you've got guys like Ole Mata and Ian Cole. You've got leaders like Serg and Keller. You've got Kirill Vimelka, who is doing his thing. Who am I missing? Another leader. Dylan Gunther,
yeah.
Who is an absolute dog. He's kind of right. And I don't mind Keller or anybody else kind of setting those expectations so that when Scotty and I are barking about it and when we feel let down, we can, in fact, Christian, mark these comments, if you will, from Clayton Keller. We can look back in and say, look, these aren't our words. This is Clayton Keller.
Yeah.
And this is a disappointment across the roster, across the front office. This is a disappointment. They've made the needed steps to try to progress, and I'm expecting them at this point to progress.
Well, and let's be honest, going into last year, Bill Armstrong did not say his team was a playoff team. He goes, I think we're a 500 team. I think we have a chance to compete for a playoff spot, but did not make any bold, announcements like we're going to the playoffs. This year, he set the bar, said that's our next step. We need to be in the playoffs.
When they make a move with the Buffalo Sabres like they did for J.J. Peterka, that told us right there.
Everything you needed to know.
Yeah, that told us.
Yep.
And what was crazy is they did stay pat, and they drafted. And they drafted a guy in Caleb Denoye, and they went hard in the draft. And I'm not expecting any of them to help immediately because I think Denoye was 17 or 18, some ridiculous age. But does a Tej and Ginla, because we were told that Tej was going to be participating in the developmental camp, does he possibly make that next step? Maybe we get to see him. I doubt it. I think Bill kind of didn't it feel like Bill? I don't want to put any words in his mouth.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like, hey, let us work through this.
A little bit more cautious.
Give us time. But those pieces I mentioned, if those guys can't get you at least to the postseason, then it's like, okay, change course then.
Yeah.
I mean, that's me being irrational and impatient. I know that changing course isn't as easy done as it is said in professional sports. It's not like turning a car around on a freeway. It's very tough. But if those guys can't get you there, you've built this young team. They're ready for the next step.
Yep.
So I'm with you, Keller. Go do it.
Let's go. All right, spin it.
Would a normal fifth-round pick do this?
This is why you listen to my guy, Hans Olsen. Not only does he know more about football than everybody else combined, but he's also lived through NFL training camps. And there's a certain amount. When you're a first, second, third-round pick, I don't want to say you sleep well at night, but you know that there's certain assurances that it's going to be hard for you not to make that team. Mm-hmm. When you move on a little bit further down the list, there's always some question marks. You see fourth round, fifth round, certainly sixth and seventh round guys get cut all the time. Mm-hmm. Shedeur Sanders on Saturday did not practice with the team because he complained of a, quote, sore arm.
Yikes.
Now, would a normal fifth-round quarterback who sees an opportunity,
yikes,
like Cleveland, who's got an opportunity that you can drive a truck through a quarterback, and you're going up against another rookie as well. And who else is on? Is Kenny Pickett on that team too? You got Kenny Pickett,
it's Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel. Shedeur.
Like there's opportunities to be had there, and you miss a day's worth of practice because of a sore arm.
It better be more than that, bud.
Ooh. And by the way, he's back at practice today. So he missed a full day of practice because of a sore arm and then said, oh, okay, I'm ready to go back.
That's wild. I couldn't even imagine it. Not in my wildest dreams could I imagine doing that as a fifth-round pick. Nothing's assured to you. Dylan Gabriel was second round? Third round.
By the way, if I'm Dylan Gabriel, good.
Good. But the film has been coming out on Dylan Gabriel. There's some film coming out on Dylan Gabriel, and then the coach was like, and then when you have a terrible practice like Dylan Gabriel did, and it's like, oh, but you know what? You want the name mentioned.
Yeah.
You need to be in the spotlight. You need to be on top of mind. It's crazy because there's tons of opportunity to be had, so I don't miss it for an injured or a sore arm. And on the other end, there's tons to potentially lose that could cut you free. And Dad can't get you back on that team. Now, Dad could maybe land you another spot, but you're going to want to stick. Speaking of quarterbacks being bad or injured or controversial, have you seen the videos coming out on Caleb Williams? Man, I think the Bears are in a terrible spot with Caleb Williams, man. Yeah. He can't hit the broadside of a barn.
And that's the thing. I don't want to hate on Caleb Williams. He did put a bad taste in my mouth and yours as well with how he paraded around at Pac-12 Media Day back in the day. But I'm not rooting for him to fail. But, boy, he makes it seem like it ain't going to end well at all for him or the Bears.
Yeah. It feels like it's another Bears disaster, just throw it on the pile.
Where quarterbacks go to die.
Yeah, one of a couple places where quarterbacks go to die. We just talked about the other place.
I mean, I know people are going to be cranky considering where he went to college, but Jim McMahon was a good NFL quarterback. He wasn't a great NFL quarterback. I mean, he had that 4-6 defense that was incredible that he helped lead that team to a Super Bowl. But when you look at the overall, Steve Young, now that's an NFL career. Jim McMahon's NFL career was okay. That dude still walks on water in Chicago. Why? Because he's the only decent quarterback they've had there in the last 50 years. Jim McMahon probably never has to buy a drink anywhere he wants to go in the city of Chicago because they're like, hey, you know what? Considering all the garbage quarterbacks we've had run through this town, that dude's like royalty.
How does Chicago find themselves in this position?
Yeah, that's a good question.
So I'm just going to give you some thought on this. So you got Caleb Williams that you went all in on. Right now, number 2 on your depth chart is Tyson Bagnet.
Who?
Tyson Bagnet. You go look at the college, it's Shepherd College. That's number 2 on your depth chart.
By the way, Christian's an NFL nut. Do you know who the backup quarterback is in Chicago?
I've heard of him. I didn't know he was the current backup, and I couldn't remember where else he's played. I was about to Google him.
Do you want to give me number 3? Number 3 on their depth chart. Case Keenum.
Oh, I didn't even know he was still in the league.
Case Keenum's number 3 on their depth chart. Yep. Houston quarterback.
Who the Broncos once gave a ton of money to do absolutely jack and squat.
And then number 4 is Austin Reed out of Western Kentucky.
The Lakers player?
No. And not the international man of mystery. No. Austin Reed. That's their quarterback room.
Oof.
So if it's not Caleb Williams, it's nothing that any Bears fan is going to want to see.
Well, and you know what? That was built on purpose because they don't want Caleb Williams to feel any pressure. So they're like, okay, he's got to learn our offense. He's got to make these steps. And plus, we need to make sure that nobody challenges him because we don't trust him mentally to be able to handle it. That's a GM doing that on purpose so that his quarterback doesn't feel threatened.
I forgot about this. Do you remember this? Caleb Williams wins the season opener at Green Bay against Jordan Love.
Yeah.
Goes 21 of 29 for 150 yards and a touchdown. And beats Green Bay 24-22. And then proceeds to lose 10 straight. 10 straight losses. Seattle, Detroit, Minnesota, San Francisco, Detroit, Minnesota, Green Bay, New England, Arizona, Washington. They sneak out a win against Jacksonville. And then they lose to Indy and Houston. You know, his yardage wasn't miserable.
No, there's some things you can pull from there.
And his completion percentage wasn't awful. And his touchdown-interception ratio was not terrible. His touchdowns were low, very low. But his camp film, and whatever's leaking out of camp or whoever's releasing the camp film, it showed him on a target drill, just missed the target and then buried one in the ground and then threw his hands down and flopped around and walked towards the back of the line looking all miserable.
Hate it.
It's just drills, too. It's not live play.
Yeah.
It's just really, have you seen some of the footage?
It's ridiculous.
It's embarrassing. And I don't know how this footage gets released.
I know. How?
I don't know, man. If I'm Caleb, I'm like, hey, if I get any film coming out of camp, I'm going to blow up.
Yeah.
Stop it. I'm trying to work on my release, and so my release is a little bit new. Does somebody release footage of Bryson DeChambeau working on a new tweak to a swing? No. So don't release my film.
No. The only one who would release that is Bryson, and I guarantee it would all be positive.
Yeah. And to see Caleb Williams stomping around and acting like a crybaby is just demoralizing. It's upsetting.
Yeah.
So the Bears are in a bad situation. As bad as Cleveland might be, which, I don't know, Joe Flacco, like, see, he can be old.
Yeah. Hey, Flacco.
I guess Case Keenum could be old for the Bears.
They're all old, and they're all pulling down big paychecks, so
yeah.
God bless them. Keep it going. Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We'll wrap up this bad boy next, right here on the Zone.
Looking for the latest on the Jazz, Utes, Cougars, and Aggies? Yeah. We've got you covered. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G on 97.5, the Sports Zone.
All right, wrapping up another edition of the show. Fun one today. Back at it tomorrow. It's always fun when Lloyd takes a vacation. We actually have some good, quality, productive shows.
Relevant guess.
By the way, Christian,
great conversation.
Great work. And this is not easy for Christian because he's got to not only produce Jake and Ben, he's got to hang out with us.
Good job getting Russo, too, Christian.
That was all me.
Excellent work.
We know it was.
Excellent work.
Don't care about the details. It was a good job.
Yeah, I asked Lloyd on Friday, I'm like, so what do we got next week? He's like, I don't know. You figure it out.
What do we got? We got a tent.
Yeah. We got a
campsite up in the Tetons.
That's what I got going on. What
do we got? We got 8-pound test on our pole so that we don't break off.
Oh, man.
30-pound bass that we're after.
Oh, yeah, for sure. All right. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.